So this is the chart. Slowly, I'll go over what you said previously because I made note of it. It's just some insight into him and deeper stuff in his chart than about you two. Uh, okay, so I'll tell you what his chart means. What the dragon tells me a bit about it. He just went over his lunation where matured his second house of money, and he'll be busy working. I'm not too sure where he works, but I'll go into his stars and see what they say. And um, it's all about the dragon position, and it's slowly moving in his favor, and it has to do with his self-esteem and the finances. They're linked. Some people are different than others, obviously. People gain that self-esteem with themselves, confidence when there's money involved, like they make their careers. That's how people build their self-esteem, by sign. So we want to say it's an order involving the self-esteem and finances, and it's karmically targeted. And basically, if he's been a good person, I mean, only good things can happen. Like I said, all the time to all my students, and the future is nothing more than a reincarnation of the thought, and we have to watch how we think and act. In a sense that it's what makes who we are when we how we think. And next month he'll go over the lunation in the third house of his communication, and that um, it's all about his Gemini there, and we'll slowly go into it. Him being in August, a summer baby, everything is blossoming in the summer, so he'll have the limelight, and all Leos have the stage in a sense, and the key is not to burn yourself out. And Leo rules over love, romance, children, entertainment, France, Italy. Me having a Leo moon, and the student of mine that went missing, she had a Leo moon too, and I know quite a bit of people with Leo placements, but in his case, he's got a Libra moon. But we look at it as the area of soul's purpose, and I don't think I sent you the housing table yet, but I will. So his Mercury's in Leo, and his lucky dragon natal in Leo, all in the first house, sun sign in Leo. Second house of money and self-esteem is Jupiter in the sign of Virgo. Great malefic in a Virgo, and like I said, he's got that Libra moon. His Mars in the sign of Libra, Pluto in Libra, so we're part of that generation where could be part of I don't want to say team, but part of a brotherhood, let's call it. So when we look at the dragon, there's so many things we can talk about, but just want to keep it simple. Positively speaking, a Leo dragon head is tons of physical and spiritual energy. You want to you want to they become world famous or leaders. They're very honorable, true to themselves. They'll travel far to get opportunities and have incredible self-esteem, gifted and competitive, and they shine. They're magnetic. They're supported by that sun. And if you look at the head and tails, and I talk a bit about it because it's extensive, but it's not impossible to learn. Every sign's got a tail, so Leo always has a tail in Aquarius. So he's got a tail in house 7 in the sign of Aquarius. When we look at negatively speaking, so you can get a contrast of character. When we talk keywords for negative Aquarius dragon tail, you only dream about your wishes, or you can't make a commitment with love, and you attract wrong friends and weird people. You're afraid of flying in enclosed places, or you're afraid of success, responsibilities. You're too independent to pursue lost causes. To give you an example, and So I'll never ask what he does, but um, he's got that Venus in the sign of Cancer. And like I said, Mercury and the soul's purpose house is the first house is the soul's purpose house, the karmic debt, outward appearance. So being the sun, all about the sun, and um, we'll start with the first house, and then let's cut to the chase. So Leo having a subconscious fear in the base of Cancer. So people born in August, generally speaking, by sign, they'll have a subconscious fear of not having a home, food, shelter, or the protector. The crab is the protector of the zodiac. It's the one at sea when we talk about, hypothetically speaking, the sign of Cancer is the crab and the sun, fun the sun. It's all about eating, and that's all the crab does, and it doesn't move forward. It's always moving sideways. If we look, it just moves forward with the tide. So same way, we apply the same dynamics, and we pursue our financial endeavors, and now we use the moon. We start on the new moons, and we don't start projects on after the full moon because it's waning. And just to give an example, the Titanic, when we talk about it, so this is yours. The Titanic was launched after the full moon, so it's waning, and look what happened. J.P. Morgan was supposed to be on the Titanic, but decided not to go because he knew of the supernova window, let's call it. It's nothing but bad news when you don't fly during those times. So we see planes and stuff fall, and they do fall on my windows that I say it before time, right? But I have all those windows on my private group, so that's readily available for all my students and group members. Again, I don't add just anyone. You have to be fully interested in learning, and it's really it's fun in nature, but it's serious too in regards to learning. It's not a goofing around thing. Just stick to the point. Do homework, your own homework. I do my homework online, and then I log out, and that's it. And so it's the options there if you want to know. Again, we'll do the comparison chart too, like you were saying. Him being Pluto and Libra. Like I said, the lesson of Pluto and Libra is to use the group's strengths to build life, master the art of diplomacy. And it's Pluto and Libra is motivated by the justice principle. And I say before, someone has done something wrong to the group or disturbed the sensitive scales. So let's unite and go, K that responsible party or imprison them or get justice, right? So we see it negatively in gangs, and we see it even in the police force. We see it. We've got bad people in every department, let's call it. But try to give the example of Pluto because Pluto means more in death, murder, and witchcraft. It's that power where you connect with the super consciousness, and you invent the mechanics of it. For example, practicing astrology is a form of metaphysics, which I practice, but not mathematically. I just transcribe the message. So we'll go into the first house because I'm blabbing. His Mercury, or we can just start with his sun sign, right off the bat. Being his dragon being in the first house, it's his lucky area to shine. He's got the stage. His soul's purpose is to shine in a sense and provide that protector, let's call it. Him having a Mars in Libra, I talk about this. So Mars in Libra in the third house. Libra rules by Venus, and this is the sign of partnerships and marriage with Mars, the planet of war. The desire principle is for the partnership, justice, and commitment. So if there's any planet in astrology that needs refinement, it is the planet Mars. So Mars' aggressive nature and warlike attitude is smoothed over with that influence of peace-oriented Libra. And I'm trying to remember if it was you that had that too. Yeah. So you both have the same Mars. And like I was saying, Venus love, Mars desire, principle accordingly, a chance to maintain harmony in matrimony. And by looking at it, when we look at your chart, since we're talking comparison charts, you have a black moon in the sign of Leo, and so it's right here. It's blacked out. We don't see the moon here. But people mistake when I say that to their moon, but what I mean is everyone's got a black moon in their fifth house by sign, and yours is Leo. So obviously things are dual. So this is the area where you're the lion in the area of love. You can only be one. You're that royal, and it's those Leo partners. He's born in August, so it's a really good match. So where was I? Mercury in the sign of Leo in the first house, the soul's purpose house, where he's meant to shine. You don't never want to be just hanging on the tail. Not only do you not practice, expanding what your planets mean, is only bad luck can happen if you're just in one house. Again, the house represents certain aspects of one's life. Soul's purpose house, self-esteem house, private thoughts, critical thinking. Fourth house, the upbringing, the home area. Fifth house, love, romance, children, and sixth house, Virgo, health and service to the world. Seventh house, partnerships. This area of the public where you face the public, right? So he's very Aquarius, is the opposite, right? And so December, January, February. Sorry. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So he's all Pisces in house 8. April, he's that Aries. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was in the army or some kind of law enforcement, or I can't say too much, but he's that Aries, and unless he's a race car driver, but Aries is all about war, in a sense, not necessarily war, but the planet Mars rules over. It's the planet of war, and we talk Greek, right? But May, June, July. So he's naturally that protector. So Mercury, let's talk about the Great Malefic in the second house. Him having the Leo sun sign in Leo is to establish some shape or form of fame or status, and learn all about the ego and what is that true power. They're very diplomatic stars too. So some people with these stars can be abusive, but everyone's different, right? So by looking at your chart, you wouldn't be considering no one a boyfriend if they're her abusive. But so he's got that very diplomatic stars and professional stars. So Venus in the sign of Cancer in the 12th house. So this is the subconscious house. The Neptunian house. In my astropsychology, Neptune rules over the Middle East. So I'm not too sure if he's religious or anything, but he does have an ascendant in Libra. Okay. So he's all about those laws, right? Venus in sign of Cancer. So when we talk Venus in the sign of Cancer in the 12th house, which is in the subconscious, the position predisposes the soul to experience the complexity, and the planet of love, beauty, is in the sign of Cancer, which rules home, family, dad, and mom. Souls born in July offer, even those with Venus, and not only just people born in July, but people with Venus in the sign of Cancer, they offer their best care to others, and it represents the type of love that uh, no other would give. And whether it's a child, lover, husband, wife, the Venus in Cancer is very sometimes clingy, and this placement for Venus is very sympathetic, and the soul is able to give an abundant amount of love. And additionally, in times of trouble or need of emotional support or solid food, the person will show what true care and giving is. Very, very beautiful position for Venus when we look at it. So it's also a very sensitive position for Venus because Cancer has a problem letting go and is tenacious by nature. If that person suffers emotional wounds, they will take a long time to heal, generally speaking. And there's a very strong love and respect with the relationships to the family. Remember, the planet of arts and money is now in the sign of Cancer. With Venus in Cancer, money can be made with real estate, hotels, feeding the world emotionally or physically. Venus in Cancer must be cautious not to give their beautiful love to selfish and abusing souls. So I think that he's, if he's picked you, he's picked the right one. A very honest person by looking at the stars is he will not call no one girlfriend if he didn't feel right about it. So let's talk about his Libra moon. So Libra moon in house 3, and we got all these planets here. So Libra moon, masculine, air sign. Just wanted to check if I'm still recording here. Okay, yeah. So masculine air sign here, there's a strong desire for partnerships, avoids being alone, seeks peace, balance, harmony, diplomacy. They excel in both psychology, artistic abilities, require sensitivity to harmony and balance. Most people, some are just natural, they have it. This lunar position gives the native a soft attitude and a gentle approach to life in general. And the impact of Venus harmony in the domestic scene will bring love, romance, candlelight, good wine. These souls need to surround themselves with luxury and valuable objects. Many of them we born to use their gifts of interior design, and however they're confronted, a Libra could become a warrior to take seriously. Partnerships is a necessity for the soul and is a real shot of luck to any man or woman who deserves their diplomatic, loving manners. This air sign, Libra moons like to get involved with advanced intellectual or artistic types. These souls need mental stimulation and expect the same loving and fair treatment in return. Natural fare for psychology, the arts. Legal system is found in the position. Children born with this moon position must be raised well-balanced environment, taught to make up their own minds, and the soul may choose, anywhere where there's they find happiness and perfect harmony with. When we look at a Libra moon, and so I'm giving you the general idea of what his planets are telling me, and considering what you've asked me. So when we talk the great malefic in the sign of Virgo, so Saturn Virgo, thus perfection is brought to its highest level. With this combination, there's not much left for intuition for many or imagination. Only the fear of what can be done properly or whether it is done well enough plagues these or concerns individuals. And Saturn rules wealth, career, public standing and honor, while Virgo rules service or less glamorous position. This brings about the fear of not being able to perform a good service, or becomes the motivating factor to reach a high position in the corporate world. So we talk medical aspect. Virgo rules the intestines, nervous system. Saturn Virgo tends to freeze the already slow digestive tract, and sometimes prone to problems and indigestions and skin eruptions, or some people suffer with nervousness and being internalized, and they need to learn. Many need to learn to relax and get a lot of fresh air, and many different ways, right? Trying to give an example. If at all possible, they should omit caffeine from their diet and stay away from coffee and regular tea. I mean, I have my own opinions, but anything in moderation is key, right? But it's beneficial. I can say that taking strolls along the beach, and that's how to rejuvenate, and by the grass, and sometimes people need to be bare feet, right? So like Cancer rules the stomach, those born with Saturn Virgo should not drink too much cold beverages. Let's just say it freezes the digestive juices, enzymes. As a general rule, anyone drinking too hot or too cold, you get, some people get ill, right? Um, it's when I see this, some people get really concerned with their health. I've seen people go vegetarian, or they're really keen on what they eat. So, um, is Jupiter in the sign of Virgo in the second house of money? So, second house of money is how he makes money by cosmic design. Jupiter in Virgo. If I can find my footing here. So Jupiter and blessings. Jupiter's blessings are given to the soul within the world of Virgo. Health, service, editing, planets, clothing, work. The protective and lucky planet of Jupiter will help those individuals with the endeavors regulating communication. Negatively, the strong, exaggerated religious inclinations of Jupiter combined with puritanical Virgo, Virgin Mary, can produce interesting characters, ranging from health fanatics to religious extremists. People like Michael Jackson walk around with dust masks, and or a nun's higher desire for chastity are good examples of the amplifications, and um, just principles involving Jupiter in the sign. On the more positive note, Jupiter in the Virgo produces people responsible for nature, their environment. They're great organizers, strong Virgo sense of detail. Health and structures applied constructively for the benefit of society, producing great health, environmental teachers. In some cases, this people disposal of the physical human envelope or mortician workers. A gift for plants, gardening is often present. So he'd be very it's all about that detail and in charge, and that Virgo is that seer, right? Very, I'm not too sure. Very very strong intuition too, right? Again, I'm blabbing. I'm not too sure how long I'm at right now, but I just want to get down to the gist of it. So Leo, like I said, are always Scorpio home. August, September, October, November. Um, when we talk Neptune, Neptune in Greek mythology is called Lord of the Sea, Poseidon, rules the oceans, intangible. The planet negative principle promotes the correct use or misuse of all agents found in chemicals. Neptune's energy is lethargic, dreamy, totally the opposite of Saturn, which is much more practical in nature. This is one of the main reasons why Christians subconsciously picked the symbol of the fish, ruled by Neptune, dream, water element, against Capricorn, practicality, earth element. Saturn is a symbol to represent evil or progress or science. So the vibrational forces generated by Neptune affect all physical and spiritual conditions, and it's like swimming thick oil or avoiding all forms of practicality. The soul refuses to work or avoids responsibility by making excuses, or worse, abusing drugs or alcohol or medication. So Neptune can be really, really negative too. So in his case, place him in Neptune in each sign, and in his case, it's in Sagittarius. So Neptune in this area is how he is in the area of love, Sagittarius, and you will see that you're all Sagittarius in your philosophy. So I can see the compatibilities instantaneously, right? I'm not too sure if you spend too much time with him or he's always away, because there's a chance that he's always away. But Neptune in Sagittarius, a mixture of Jupiter's codes and Neptune's elusive power can only further the intensity of teaching and enforcing the rules of including the biblical terms as ultimate laws. And the position produces a very sensitive reaction to the countries induced accepted religion, unlike yours. Um, it's the area where you're challenged, where you can only improve um, your critical thinking or your awareness by looking outside what has been written. Like, what has been written matters, but also what hasn't been written matters, because not too many people know about the laws of the moon, and a real Libra would practice following the rules and laws of man and the laws of the cosmic winds, or the celestial winds, or the design, let's call it. So advanced souls are forced to travel, and is exploring people's cultures and philosophies. So you must do a lot of traveling with them, or sometimes the challenges is to realize the diversity of governments. Not all governments are do well, right? Some governments are all about. To give an example, they control and pull through religions or different cultures, to mental explorations, and they deprive them, right? So it's okay to explore. Because to me, we're already in hell in a sense, and we make good or bad of our every day, right? We all make choices, and we just got to stay frosty and not fall into negative or not taking responsibilities, right? So having this placement series is going to be all about the laws. So I'm not sure if he works for the government or he's a teacher of some sort, but he's going to be all about those laws. And yeah, he has that stars where he has got a lot of responsibility. I don't want to say power because I mean everyone's got their own power, but he's put in a position of power in a sense, and he's that protector type. And when you ask me, um, the compatibility is so similar. It's a good match as long as there's communication, as long as there's honesty between you guys. It's almost like his black moon in a sign of Sagittarius is you in a sense because of your placement here. So it's a good match. And April, May, June, July. In the home area, you're that crab, right? And that's his love, right? He's also cosmically Pluto curses him here too. So like me, all Leo children or people with Venus and Leo are automatically, hypothetically cursed by a negative force at birth, right? So his donation, like I said, will mature in his third house for next month, and so be about that traveling and studying new age material or whatever projects he's on, and great opportunities and technologies involved, and it's that communication, that mercurial area. Um, it's all about how you harbor your harmony when we talk this generation. Like probably the same generation, Pluto and Libra. I call it the generation of psychologists. It seems that everyone is just so fascinated with psychology, and generally speaking, people are obsessed with partnerships and legal battles, right? So um, at a deep level, you asked why. Can't remember what you said. Readers. So why do I say England? I think you said. Okay, so yeah, so you guys are like a really, really good match. And when we look at the House 8, because House 8 is ultimately your partners, because it's how you make money with your partners, but how you interact in regards, because it's the legacy house. It's the partnership, it's the sex house, it's the past residue, It's the metaphysical house, the Scorpio house, right? And it's the same one as he has the same one, but in the second house of money. So why did I say England? Because your tail is right on the 10th house, and that's England. So a past life tells me the past life residue is telling me that you come from a white background. So I never drew no cards or anything on this. I just want to go, and I kind of rambled, but it's 30 minutes, and that's the gist of his stars. Pluto in Libra and Ascendant. So you'll have the Ascendant in Libra, so you'll be about those laws and that tail in Aries. Libra always has a tail in Aries. And nothing. If things are meant to be in a partnership, right, and it's because it's meant to be. And when I look at the charts, it's very compatible. Because ultimately, like I said, Aries is always, people born in April will have that black moon in Leo. So even though there's Pluto's there and it's blacked out, it doesn't mean that these people get killed by Leo types. It means that that's the love. That's the compatibility too. That's a hit in compatibility. These, generally speaking, yeah, when we talk people that are not cosmic aware, they're young souls, and get involved with wrong people, they most prone to get have drama with Leo types. So I'll conclude there, and then you can let me know how. Well, I'm going to download that app, and then we'll go from there.